Here's a question I get all the time in my YouTube comments. What's the best color for the background of my self-taped auditions? Well, I'm happy to say I've self-taped hundreds of my own auditions over the years and hundreds more for other people, so I can tell you exactly what the answer is. What's up, my fellow actors? Welcome to the Acting Career Center, here to help you learn the skills you need to break into the film and television industry. My name is Kurt Yu. Thank you so much for spending some time here with me today. If it's your first time here, make sure to subscribe to this channel to get more videos on acting, auditioning, and career advice. And if you haven't already downloaded my free 10-step audition preparation guide yet, you can get it from that link right up there. It's called my audition cheat sheet, and it's the 10-step audition preparation process that I personally use that's helped me book over 50 movies and television shows. So if you want a process to improve your auditions, go ahead and download that free cheat sheet from that link up there. Okay, today we are talking about self-taped auditions, specifically what background color is best for our self-taped auditions. Over the years, I've used many different colors. I've used a white background, I've used a gray background, I've used a black background, I've used blue, I've used green, I've used all kinds of different colors. And guess what? I've actually booked auditions with all of those colors. So the answer really is that the background doesn't matter. I wish I could tell you that there was some magic background color that you could apply to all your self-tapes and you would book all of them, but unfortunately that doesn't exist. The real answer is that there is no perfect background color. So many actors freak out about the technical aspects of their self-tapes, especially the background color, because they're afraid of getting it wrong. But guess what? You can't really get this wrong as long as you follow this principle. The goal of your self-tape background is simply to minimize distractions the best you can, however you do it. It's not about picking the right color for your self-tape. It's about minimizing the distractions. To me, what that translates to is make it as boring as possible. What's behind you in your self-tape should be so boring that the person watching has no choice but to pay attention to your performance. So the idea is to strive for boring. Not your performance. Your performance shouldn't be boring, but your background should be boring as possible so that they have no choice but to watch your performance. Now, the background color that I currently use is actually right behind me. This is the background that I use for all of my self-tapes. I've actually painted my wall a slate gray. There are plenty of other options for self-tape backgrounds. You can put up some background stands and hang a cloth backdrop, all kinds of different things. I prefer to paint a wall because it's the easiest for me and there's nothing else that I have to move around. And I specifically picked this gray color because what's more boring than gray? I guess beige would be more boring than gray, but I happen to like this gray color. Like I said in the past, I've used white backgrounds, black backgrounds, gray backgrounds, blue backgrounds, and of all the colors I've used, I happen to think the gray blends in the best to the background and allows me to kind of pop out of the background and stand out in my audition tapes. Now, some people like to use different color backgrounds for different types of auditions. For example, if they had an audition that was for a commercial or a comedy or a Disney show, they might choose a brighter color background to make the tone of the audition just brighter and more upbeat. Whereas on the flip side, if they had an audition for a drama, they might choose a darker background to fit the tone of that type of show. Now, you don't have to do that, but you certainly can if you want to. Personally, I just use the gray for all of my auditions because at the end of the day, it's about the performance. Now, the other thing I want you to remember is that you don't have to make it perfect, especially not every single time, because there are going to be circumstances that we can't avoid sometimes, especially when we're traveling. Now, I know there are some actors that will bring a portable backdrop with them when they're traveling to set up a studio space in a hotel room that gives them the perfect non-distracting background. And if you can do that, more power to you. That's awesome. For me, I like to travel light, so I don't try to make it perfect. I try to find the background that has the least distractions that works for my audition at that time. For example, when I go and travel to my parents' house, I don't have a self-taping studio room in their house, so I find the best place that I can in their house. It happens to be a place that has a door behind me. Now, in those self-taped auditions, it isn't a perfect background behind me because it's not completely free of distractions, but it's boring enough. Who's going to be super interested in a door, right? It's boring enough where they will pay attention to my performance. And in fact, I've booked multiple auditions through those self-tapes with a door behind me in my parents' house. And I've also booked auditions where I've taped with some distractions in the background in a hotel room. So again, remember that it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, that's it for this video. I should mention that I also have a page specifically about self-tape gear on my website. I'll put a link to it down in the description below. It's all about cameras and lighting and microphones and anything that you might want to start building your self-tape setup at home. All right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and I hope to see you on set one day.